Welcome in to the Crypto Bunker podcast. Tonight we're going to be talking about a Polkadot and the Polkadot ecosystem. I feel like not enough people are talking about it right now. Everyone's focused on Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin going to do? Are we in a bear market? Are we in a bull market? Guys, I'm just going to tell you straight up with that, just to update you. I think that we're still in a bull market. I think we're actually going through some healthy consolidation here. I will pull up the chart just to show you guys some key levels here. As you can see, we're sort of breaking through our wedge here that we're forming, and we've been forming since about May 19th. And if we do break this, and then we test support and we hold support, and then I think, just based on how big this wedge actually is, the measured move would be about 47,500. My target is 48,000. Just personally, I mean, obviously, I think the best thing you can do with Bitcoin is just to buy and hold it for a longer period of time. But if you are sort of trading, maybe small amounts of your Bitcoin or, something like that, I think that, that's something to look for here. In terms of Polkadot, we actually did break above the support and we almost tested back, but now we're sort of starting to take off again. And some of the positive news that we've gotten for Polkadot has actually been this $30 million fund, Master Ventures, who is basically going to be creating an investment fund, just like there is funds for DeFi with Ethereum. This is a Polkadot specific $30 million fund, and it's an Asian blockchain incubator. So it's basically venture capital, and what they're going to be doing is they're going to be raising funds for the new Polkadot parachain ecosystems, which are going to be really cool. And tonight I'm going to be doing something really cool for you guys. I'm going to show you how to buy Polkadot and how to stake Polkadot pretty easily. A lot of people have trouble buying Polkadot because it's not on Coinbase. And so, a lot of people that have Coinbase or have other apps, they don't have Polkadot. Not a lot of people have Kraken, I feel like. So it's a little bit hard to get to. But what we're going to do today is show you sort of an easy way to do that. And if you guys noticed, that was the Brave browser notification that just came up. I don't know if you guys have Brave browser. I recommend it. Basically, I just got paid to click on that ad and then X out. And as you can see, I'm earning rewards based on just clicking on those ads and then Xing out immediately. So pretty cool. And it's also super secure. It's a little bit better for your data and things like that. So yeah, Brave, great project. Anyway, so yeah, let's get that started. So first, I want to go to Coinbase because I figured most people have Coinbase. We're going to buy from, not going to buy Bitcoin, although we could do that in this example. We're going to buy Ethereum. I'm going to buy $50 worth. Let me just make sure real quick. So you got to do your card. You got to make it the debit card because then you can get it immediately. So anyway, figured like while we wait for some of these transactions to go through and send and stuff like that, we can sort of go through and talk about Polkadot and what is Polkadot. So let me just show you guys what I'm working with here. So I got the ETH here. What we're going to do is go to your wallet and we're going to send Ethereum. to a wallet address. Now the wallet is going to be Atomic Wallet, and what we're going to do is we're going to go down, and basically you can download Atomic Wallet. It's actually a cold storage wallet that I recommend. They have a ton of different options for coins, and you can exchange any coin for any coin through their Atomic Swap. So it's a pretty unique feature. It's really cool, and I recommend it. And it's also, you're holding your own keys as well. So a lot of people say, make sure you have a cold storage wallet. This is actually a cold storage wallet that you can do these swaps with, which is really cool. Anyway, so I'm going to receive Ethereum here. So I'm going to copy my address. There's my ETH address. If anyone wants to send me anything, send. I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to send it all. And I'm going to send that. Got my verification code that comes through the Google Authenticator app. And let's see. I feel like not enough people show people these basic things that you can do. And so, here you go. This is sort of an easy way to, and as you can see, I already got that ETH, which is really quick. Sometimes it takes a little bit to show up in your wallet, but this time it didn't. Then I am going to exchange it. Let's see, sometimes it doesn't, it's so weird. Sometimes on this app specifically, I can do it on my phone, but sometimes on the computer app, for some reason, I don't understand why that is not there. It's weird. It's like trying to advertise that this is a good exchange, and then they do this. It's fine. Anyway, so what you would do is you would come to your exchange. This will work. I probably just don't have the update or something, and so it's being glitchy. I'm going to do it on my phone, and then you guys are going to see the transaction happen. But yeah, it's pretty simple. You just go to this and you send ETH, and you pick DOT, you exchange it, bam, it goes through. I'm going to do that on my phone now. But yeah, I think Polkadot is a super interesting project. I'm really excited to talk about it. So let's do that while we're sort of waiting for this process to take place. Polkadot is really there to connect chains, to connect other blockchains to other blockchains. So basically, an entire capital base can be secured on many different chains that then communicate with Polkadot and with each other. So ETH and Bitcoin will actually be on top of Polkadot at some point. There will be, about 100 different parachains, what they are called, that will be attached to Polkadot, which is pretty cool. And those chains will be able to operate completely separately from, they'll basically, those chains will be able to operate separately and do their own thing from the Polkadot ecosystem. And that's really cool because with Ethereum, a lot of times everyone that's in the ETH ecosystem has to transact in Ethereum. This ecosystem is going to be a little bit more unique because you're going to be able to transact in anything that they want. They can transact in DOT tokens, they could transact in ETH tokens, they could transact in Bitcoin, they could transact in the native token that they're creating for the project that they're doing. So it's really unique, and I'll show you guys. Oh, okay. Well, let me just keep talking about this because they're telling me that the minimum amount, unfortunately, is actually higher than what I had gotten. And so I hope this is enough. I think it is. How much am I buying? 0.004. Yeah. Anyway, these are the things that happen to you in crypto. But it's fun, to play around. So basically, I'm going to send that once again. I'm going to send that over the same address. It should still be there. And then I have to go through the authenticator app again. But yeah, the parachain ecosystem for Polkadot is going to be really cool. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. So basically, they have these parachains where, as you can see, that this sort of talks about some of the parachains. A parachain is equivalent to a blockchain layer 1 tied to one particular functionality with its own specialized characteristics and governance structure. But the thing that's cool about it is you have to actually bid for a spot. So you don't have to use DOT tokens for any type of transactions, but you do have to bid in DOT tokens for a parachain. And they do an English auction style. So the ending of the auction is actually randomized. And it's not, like some of these NFTs where people come in last second and bid the highest amount automatically. It actually ends up being random. So it's not always the last person. So it encourages people to bid on the parachain slot with their full amount that they want to bid. So it sort of encourages more true bids instead of just bidding it up until the end, and then the last person who gets lucky enough to get it at 11:59 a.m. if it ends at whatever 12 p.m. This is actually a little bit more random, which I think is cool as well. And what will happen is the people that bid for the spot will then, if they win the spot, those DOT tokens will stay in their treasury specifically for a certain amount of time as like a lease. So they'll have those DOT tokens in their treasury and they will not be moving, which is a really good thing for the supply of Polkadot. Meanwhile, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys real quick the transaction if you can see it. Hopefully it works this time. So yeah, this is what the exchange looks like, as you can see on the screen. And basically I'm just going to do that. As you can see, it loads real quick and then bam. And so it takes a second for it to go fully through. It'll take your ETH out, take like 2 minutes or something. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, and then it will show, bam, that you have the Polkadot. And then I'm going to show you guys what to do in terms of Kraken on Kraken to then stake it. So basically, when someone, so the community, like myself, I could take my DOT tokens then, and I could support certain groups. And basically, that's what I was saying is like these certain groups will have DOT tokens based on their support. You can lend your DOT tokens to the parachain team that is opting for a parachain slot on Polkadot, and then those tokens are locked for a certain amount of time, and you can't get them back until it's sort of like ETH 2.0. You got to lock them up, and you then can earn probably a reward for that. Like you might get some tokens from this new project because you lend your DOT out for like 6 to 12 months. I don't think they're sure the exact time yet. So it's pretty cool because that like will diminish the DOT supply a lot, sort of like this ETH 2.0 staking contract is doing. And the supply will be sort of locked away, like a good chunk of it, in these different projects for a certain amount of time. Now, you know, looking ahead, that will be when you want to sell Polkadot, if you ever were going to, would be right before those lockups sort of um, come loose again, because then you actually are able to get your dot back. So the Polkadot that you lend to the different parachain projects, you actually get that dot back within that 6 to 12 month time frame, whenever they decide to give it back. So you're lending your token out, and the people can't do anything with it. It's just sort of there to show the value of the project based on the ecosystem, and what the people think that they're valued at. But you might get rewards. You might get a bunch of these tokens, and they could go up like a crazy amount. So if you do have a lot of Polkadot, I would suggest, picking a project like maybe Moonbeam is a really good one, and um, and going in on it and seeing if they have rewards and getting those tokens, because you're going to get your dot back. So if you're holding dot long term and you don't need it in the short term, and you could easily put it into one of these projects, get it back in 6 to 12 months, and you get the benefit of getting all these different tokens from the new projects that you invest in, which is really cool. Um, and with these parachains, they're going to be basically um, started on Kusama, which already happened. The first parachain already was put up on Kusama. Basically Kusama is an experimental version of Polkadot, but it exists as an independent blockchain network. It's sort of like a sandbox for developers that want to test pre-release versions of their project before deploying them on Polkadot's mainnet. It's a test net. So you hear of these different Ethereum test nets. Kusama is a test net, but it's its own ecosystem that's built on Polkadot, which is really cool. Um, and Kusama is sort of like a canary network. Like I said, it's for innovations, it's for experiments, it's for throwing things at the wall and seeing if they stick. Expect chaos, break it, see what happens. You know, so it's kind of cool. It's like this like revolutionary thing that's being built on Polkadot and is used by the Polkadot developers as like a test sort of ground. So like you could have groundbreaking things that happen within the Kusama ecosystem, which is really cool. There's actually a Kusama society, fun fact, where the people in the society might be like 50 people. They're tattooed, and they're tattooed on the blockchain. So the blockchain proves that they've been tattooed on their side, and they can actually reference every tattoo references to the next other person within that group. So they actually form the first human blockchain, technically, because they are all in one society, and the tattoos show that they're verified, and it's also on the blockchain itself, which is really cool. I think it's like sort of a revolutionary type of thing. So yeah, that's the Polkadot project. In general, I think it's definitely a good time to get in. As you can see, the all-time high is around like $50, and we're all the way down at 25. So we're basically half. We're down about 50% from the all-time high, and I think the value of the network has only gone up. So it's not all about price. I think the only reason that it did drop is because Bitcoin dropped, and because crypto sort of trades together sometimes. And as you can see, it sort of forms these similar patterns. And actually, if you look back, it's sort of funny. I think the Polkadot chart and the Bitcoin chart are like very similar. It has these like three different waves, almost four. Like I guess you can look back and see, it has like one, two, three. I mean, this one has like more waves, but if you look at it, it sort of looks similar. And then they form these wedges, right? And now we broke out, we tested back, and now we're probably on our way. I'm not sure exactly. I can do the measured move here. So you would take the tool and you would make, basically the measured move, something like this. So probably like we're looking at like $40. So I think that makes a lot of sense, especially with parachains just being released. I'm going to show you guys the dot tokens. See, they showed up. Bam. You're going to take this. You're going to go to Kraken. As you can see, they have a staking section and they have a funding section. You're going to go and you're going to have to set up some stuff with your account to make sure that you can deposit and withdraw. But for me, I don't even have my bank really. I mean, you don't need to have your bank connected to do this. You just need to be able to deposit and withdraw crypto. So if you go to funding and you go to deposit, you go to Polkadot, and then it comes up with this address. You can copy this address, or what I'm going to do is take a picture, which is also another cool thing about blockchain. They have these QR codes, which are cool. So I'm going to do that. It shows up. Bam. As you can see, you're basically going to send that. You're going to put in your password. I also want to say, if you never had a cold storage wallet before, Atomic Wallet, again, is like sort of like a good beginner's cold storage. It's because you don't have to deal with all the tech and like the ledger and the the USB drive and stuff. But it's just like an app, but it acts as a cold storage wallet in which you're going to get a phrase. You're going to get a 12-word phrase from this wallet, and it's going to say, your private keys. And you never want to give your 12-word backup phrase that it will give you to anyone. Giving this data may result in the loss of your funds. And so you're not going to want to do that. You're going to, so anyway, you're going to come back to staking, and I don't think it's probably in yet. I think it takes 2 minutes for Polkadot for each block or something like that. So it might be, 2 minutes. But anyway, you come to staking, you can stake, you can buy Kusama too, which is kind of cool, and stake that for 12%. Ethereum, you can stake that as well. That is different because you actually have to lock it up until ETH 2.0 happens. So for me, I just have this locked up until that goes through, which I'm comfortable with because it's more like, okay, this is a long-term portion of my stack. Let me put it in here and just lock it up for the 5 to 7% interest. As you can see, you earn these rewards, which is cool. You can see like the stake Polkadot rewards. The cool thing about these rewards from Polkadot as well, and not Ethereum, is that they will add these rewards to your stack. They will add it directly to your staking balance, which I really like because it's just like constantly compounding. So it's like every 3 days you're compounding this 12% interest number, and so you're just always getting more and more and more, which is really cool. Let's see if it's there at this point. It's not. So this is basically what it'll show up as, your balance right there. You're going to click 100% stake. And the cool thing about this is I can unstake this at any time. Bam, unstake, 2 minutes, lightning bolt. I can send it back to Atomic Wallet. Take the address from here, send it to this, exchange it out to ETH, whatever I want to do. Bam, bam. And I have the ETH back wherever I need it for a different thing that I need to do, whatever, just in case. I'm not, obviously I want to hold Polkadot long term, but again, stuff happens, market gets crazy, who knows. So just to show how easy it is, it would probably take 30 minutes total, for me to send all that stuff around, maybe even less time than that. And again, I just put some of these in because I just reinvested in Polkadot. I took it off for a little bit. Now I'm back in, And I'm a little bit heavier than I was even before because I just think this is such good value at $25. Um, I personally think this is a $250 coin, if not more long term. But I think by the end of the year or next year, say 9 to 12 months from now, it should be, I think, a $250 coin. And so that would be a 10x from here, which is, it's a good deal, obviously. So again, it still hasn't come in. So you can see it here. See, it's confirming. And yeah, deposited it 2 minutes ago. And so usually all these Polkadot transactions happen really fast, which also I like. But yeah, the Polkadot ecosystem is going to be huge, and there's no reason to believe that if they accomplish what they want to do, that they won't be the biggest crypto in 5 to 10 years. They could easily be the biggest market cap crypto. I personally think that this is like investing in Ethereum at like $50. And so, yeah, I think basically, um, this is a huge opportunity. And again, we can sort of go over what that looks like. Um, what? I apologize, guys. I'm sorry, guys. If I wasn't connected there, it's because I accidentally unplugged my computer there. So, again, super unprofessional of me, but I hope you guys are enjoying this. I think it's cool just to like see someone doing something like this, just sort of average stuff that like everyone would do. As you can see, it showed up. So you can see my staking balance and my spot balance. So it showed up in my spot balance. I'm going to go to staking, and then I am going to, bam, stake 100%, press stake. And you can see it's initiated. That will take probably another 2 minutes, and then I will be on my way and ready to get paid. I mean, I am like pumped, guys. Like, I think this is so undervalued. And if you haven't heard of the Web 3.0 Foundation as well, that is something that Polkadot does as well. That's sort of what Polkadot is. It's supposed to be like a Web 3.0 sort of thing, because it allows all these blockchains to communicate with each other every like 30 seconds or so. And so I think that that's a really cool thing, and I'm excited to continue to talk about Polkadot more, because I think it's not talked about enough. I mean, if you look up Polkadot videos on YouTube, there is some people talking about it, but a lot of it's like super technical. And so my goal is to try to sort of dumb it down to like a retail level, like myself and maybe yourself. I mean, obviously, you guys aren't dumb. None of us are dumb if we're this early to this blockchain technology and we somewhat understand it. But some of these people working for Polkadot, I mean, man, they're geniuses. And that's sort of why I look at it. I mean, the person, Gavin Wood, who created Polkadot, he actually wrote the code for Ethereum. So he was like a big part of the Ethereum success story. Vitalik, is sort of more like the philosophical side of it. He wrote the white paper for Ethereum, and he's sort of the idea, the technicals, and how they connect. Gavin Wood was sort of more just like hardcore coding, sort of like the workhorse of Ethereum and like creating it. And so this is sort of his baby, and I think it only makes sense that this could overtake Ethereum at some point based on what they're trying to do. I just think the thing, guys, is like these parachains are happening this year. Like they're literally just starting right now. And so think of like an entire ecosystem of these coins, and it's not going to be like the ICO craze for Ethereum. It's going to be very legitimate because a lot of these projects have already been these type of projects, right? Like NFTs, DeFi, lending and borrowing. All this stuff is going to be on Polkadot now through these different new projects. And the cool thing is, like, everyone knows sort of like, okay, this is crypto's wheelhouse, like these different things that you can build on the blockchain. And so it's not going to be like these scam ICOs like that Ethereum had in 2017. And Ethereum still got a crazy run up during that entire time, right? Like, this is more, I think, more mature, but it's the same idea as there's going to be all these projects, including Ethereum and Bitcoin, which will be on Polkadot. It's gonna help Ethereum scale. Actually, it's gonna help Ethereum and Bitcoin in general for Polkadot to do this. But Polkadot's gonna be the biggest winner of that entire thing because Polkadot, like I said, all the things with the DOT tokens having to be locked up for this period of time, all the different parachains that are going to be coming in. It's going to be great. I'm super excited. Huge Polkadot bull. Basically, it's like my only altcoin that I have. I wouldn't even call it an altcoin. That's the thing. I wouldn't call Ethereum or Polkadot an altcoin. I'd call Cardano an altcoin. Unfortunately, I think that Polkadot is well ahead of and more advanced than Cardano. I don't think Cardano deserves to be, essentially it is. It's more than double the size market cap than Polkadot, which is absolutely insane for what Polkadot is bringing to the table. And so I think we had our throwback. As you can see, this acted as support. We've built our way back up, and I think that this will be one of the altcoins that sort of leads the charge here. Especially, if Bitcoin can hold these levels and break above here, test back and shoot up, I think Polkadot will sort of follow in its steps pretty quickly. I don't see, something like Cardano that's already, $2 or, $1.80. Like, that kind of like seems stale to me. I think that I don't see it moving up past Binance Coin. I don't really see it moving up too much. It might go sideways, while some of these other coins shoot up. We can look at the Ethereum chart real quick for you guys. As you can see, we have like a nice wedge forming here. We're sort of right in the middle. Ethereum is kind of lagging just a little bit. It looks fine though. As you can see, the target for this measured move would be about 3,900. Obviously, I don't want to cover the downside for 1,500. I don't think we would get there with that. With Bitcoin, I think the measured move is like 21,000 if we broke below, tested this, and then bam, went down. This actually I think is cool. It's the bull market support is what I call it. As you can see, we touched it here. We sort of touched it here as well. And this actually goes all the way back. This is the kind of things that you can do with charts that are so cool. See like how far, like this literally is, it doesn't seem like much. As you can see, it sort of even goes back even further to here. But this is like where we really started to break out. So it makes sense. Like this is like that first big breakout, right? Like right to like we settle around this 19,000 range, and that's an important level for Bitcoin. And so I think it makes sense that we take that move. We go all the way back. Like we just sort of should have known like it was going to test this, right? As you can see, we come all the way back, and that acts as the support. So I sort of think like we're going to be okay. Even if we do break below this, I think we're okay as long as we stay above this line, which we have so far. And the line is just moving up. And anything you see with all these like moving averages, I just think it's BS. It's all about the charts. It's all about what the chart is telling us. And right now, we're looking like we could break out here, which is really exciting for the entire space. Bitcoin, Ethereum, super bullish on those, and Polkadot. I think if you invest in those three right now, you're looking really good for the next, year, for the next 5-10 years. I mean, I really think if this is the continuing of the bull run, which many of us think it is, there's no reason to think it's not, besides like, I don't know, like the charts or like, moving averages or stuff like that. But in general, this is a movement. This is a movement towards decentralized technologies that will help, mankind overcome, the control systems that we live in today, and it will really give us freedom for the future. So I'm excited to, continue to do these with you guys. I'm glad I was able to figure out the technology. I'm sorry if there was a few things that mess up there, but again, hope you guys enjoyed it, and looking forward to continuing to do this. So let's get it.